Hi guys, and welcome to Get Reviews and to this review of Specter. So Specter is the new James Bond movie, and I do want to apologize for how late this review is. Yeah, that's why I'm doing it in this setting, because I have so little time that I can't even film on the green screen. Okay guys, so Specter. From all the James Bond movies, because I really can't remember Quantum something, yeah, this maybe is the one that I least like. Yeah, I like it the least, definitely. And I'm going to start with the reasons why. First of all, the overall story, I don't mind it. I think that overall it's an interesting story, but it doesn't really feel like a James Bond movie. If there is not the music, this won't be like James Bond at all. Oh, and by the way, in case you're wondering, it's not cold anymore because we had like heat stoppage, you can say. They stopped our heat. So that's why it was so cold, but now it's not, so I can wear my Ronda Rousey t-shirt. So back to the movie. So the story overall, I didn't mind it at all, but it really didn't feel like a James Bond movie. It felt like something else, and James Bond himself was James Bond, for sure, he was awesome. But just like after the first scene, which was a very good scene, no spoilers, by the way. After that, not that it wasn't interesting. I mean, the movie was interesting throughout, but it just was a little bit slow. And by slow, I mean that there were a lot more talking than action. And by talking, I mean very slow scenes with very little music in the background, just James Bond speaking really methodical and slowly, and all the characters are speaking in this very condensed way, and just no other atmosphere to back this up. So every sentence they say was like so long. I mean, you felt like every scene that is with dialogue, it's long. Not that much, I mean, it's not that bad, but overall those scenes, all the dialogue scenes, really started to get heavy on the movie at one point. Especially when they tried so hard at particular phrases and just sentences and what they meant in particular. So the movie was kind of tried to show off particular stuff that were said by the characters. And so that brings me to Dave Bautista for some reason, who didn't spoke like at all. The only word that he said was a swear word, and it was just like one time. The last thing that he said was the first thing that he said. The action scenes were great. The fighting scenes were great. I have nothing to say about those. The whole color of the movie was very depressing. It was kinda like gray, green, and yellow. So, unlike Casino Royale, if I remember correctly, the colors were a lot more vivid. Contrast was better. Everything looked a lot more like a James Bond movie. I remember the cars, the red carpets of the casino and all that. Everything looked like it's supposed to look, like a very good colorful picture. And here Specter is very bland. I don't know that this is the correct word, but yeah, you know what I mean. I'm guessing that you got the idea. It lacks color a lot. The next thing, I really didn't like how the movie began with the song, because the song is just a guy that sings amazingly with great vocals, but that is all that this song is. A guy shows off his vocal abilities. That's pretty much it. I mean, you can't even like find beginning course, whatever it is just one thing all the time, and very high vocals and nothing else. It's not like that Adele song that was really memorable. So yeah, and also there was an octopus that was a symbol of whatever it is. I can't say because it's a spoiler. And the octopus was made with CGI at the beginning. I mean, that's of course the starting. I'm talking about once again about the intro of the movie, that every James Bond movie starts with a song and with an intro to it, and you see some, shots from either James Bond or something else connected to that previously shot stuff like a music video. So the octopus was used kind of like a sexual object even, and there was some sexual stuff like crawling on a woman's body and all that, and it was kind of disgusting, honestly, and creepy. So I really didn't feel that. And also James Bond was in that. He was naked, but they kind of cover his body with a shadow. So yeah, no yay there whatsoever. But they did show the women, So that's not good. And I want to really get into the one thing that I really don't like, but I don't want to make this video so long, so that's also a problem. I'm going to try to sum up everything. So yeah, action scene is great, as I said. The story overall, I didn't mind the story. The villain, he was a real villain. I mean, he was bad. He was really, really bad. How it ended, I'm not really sure. Maybe it shouldn't end it like this. It was not bad. I just prefer it to be like more, I can't really say, of course, because this is a non-spoiler review. And also Dave Bautista was awesome. I mean, all he did was act with his face mostly, with his eyes, with his body, and the fight scenes, but he did a great job for what he did. So no complaints about Dave Bautista, no complaints about the cars, no complaints about the gadgets. But still didn't feel like a James Bond movie. To me, it was too dark and too depressing. And by dark, again, I mean the lack of color. And now the women. So this is a sex spoiler. I mean, I have to say 2 sex spoilers that are really not important to the movie. So I can say that there's a sex scene. I mean, 2, and not really a sex scene, just a love scene mostly. More like a love scene, I mean. You never see the sex scenes, but those scenes lead to sex. So I have to talk about this because this is the most thing that revolted me out of the movie. It kind of got me out of the movie and all that. Because those movies are more realistic. And you can say that those James Bonds are kind of more realistic in a way. They have this feeling of logic. And of course it's a movie, so it's just to a certain extent. It's not like this is the perfect logical movie, oh my god, nothing like this. But what happened exactly? So he meets with Monica Bellucci's character. Once again, I'm only going to talk about the scene, not the circumstances, because then I'm going to spoil it. So just the scene. And he knows her for like 5 minutes. I mean, he just met her. He talked with her for like 2 minutes, and in the next minutes he starts to seducing her, kissing her, start to be really, really horny and attracted to her, start to touch her in an extremely sexual way, to undress her and all that, and she's like all up for it. I mean, oh my god, this man is so amazing. And he's really not. I mean, he's not like Osvaldo Rios, if you know who that is, or Superman or something else. So I don't see that happening. And especially after the circumstances that they met, it's really dangerous to do something like this. Because any moment somebody could just kick the door open and all that and kill them, So the whole thing was ridiculous. I mean, how she, that is a woman of big, crime something boss, is going to just be like, oh my god, yeah, I'm going to be seduced by this amazing agent here guy. Oh yeah, I've waited for that my whole life. Yeah, as if, this is ridiculous. So that was the first thing that I was like super like, what? They're making what? What the hell? I mean, I was telling to my boyfriend like, what in the name? And he was like, ooh, a love scene. And I was like, but there's no logic to it. Why the heck they're doing this? I'm like, so annoyed. This is, yeah. Hi, we just met. Can we have sex, please? Yeah, thank you. Absolutely idiotic. Then the next thing that was even more idiotic in a way. So the next sex scene is with that lovely French actress that amazingly speaks French. Also, she's so beautiful. She's like a cross between Catherine Winnick from the Vikings, and that wonderful actress that plays King Joffrey's wife and now queen in Game of Thrones. Also, she plays now in Mockingjay Part 1 and 2, that she's kind of like filming crew that film stuff. Originally for President Snow, but now she doesn't. Anyway, yeah, she kind of looks like cross between those two actresses that I really, really like. So she's amazing. She looks amazing. She acts amazing. She speaks French amazing, and she really kind of try to get into your head that she really is awesome with her speaking. She really tries, So first time that they meet with James Bond and all that, once again, I'm not going into details, but she couldn't stand him. She was like, who is that guy? What the hell does he want? He's annoying. Oh my god, I don't want to be anywhere near him. And after this, she even said actually, don't touch me, don't go anywhere close to me. If you do that, I will kill you or something similar. And he was very distant. Although the first time that he saw her, he was very impressed by her looks. Of course, no doubt I am impressed. So normally if he is, yeah, nothing wrong with that. But then, after her attitude, her original attitude, like, I think just a couple of hours later, they were in a train. Something happened, a fight scene. And after that, she was like, what shall we do now? And he's like all passionate all of a sudden about her, and she's also, and they start kissing, and of course, this leads to wild sex on a train. That, once again, we don't see, but yeah, we don't need to see it, thank God. I mean, you know full well what is going on there. And after that, they go on a trip. They're acting like girlfriend and boyfriend, like man and a woman, something like this. After that, they're in a particular situation where she said that she loves him. This is literally like maybe 8 hours. Okay, even if it's 20 hours after they slept together. I mean, it was the next day. At least the next day after they slept together. So, it's ridiculous. I love you. What? I mean, you couldn't stand him just 1.5 days ago. You just couldn't stand him, and now you're in love with him? You what? And he's, I mean, I'm not sure how old James Bond is supposed to be in the movies, but I think because they said that a lot of times he is in his 40s, like he is, and she maybe is supposed to be like 25, although she's 30. That doesn't matter, I mean, she looks 25. In any case, even if they're real ages, he is still 18 years older than her. He could be her dad. 18 years, not 10. 18 years older than her. That's just... I mean, any girl that is like under 30 or 30, okay, will be like, oh yeah, hi my dad. Okay, are you my dad? Because kinda look my dad. Hopefully you are my dad because you're cool. You know, I mean, he could be dad to anyone that is under 30, basically. and even a little bit above 30. If he made those kids when he was a teenager, it's still possible. So he could be my dad, anyone's dad, really. Under 30, anyone's dad, under that age. So pretty much, yeah. You got my point. So it's ridiculous that she will even find him attractive. Most girls don't like older guys. I mean, most girls just don't. 10 years is a lot, and it's like a different generation even, and everything is different between the way you think most of the times, but not every time, but most of the times. And 18 years, that's a whole nother thing. It's even worse. So I don't find it realistic that she will be attracted to him no matter how cool he is. Absolutely not, because once again, if I was her, I would be like super impressed with him, but in a, respectful way, appreciation-like way, just because of his age, really like a dad, like a father, but nothing else. I mean, super impressed and appreciative, but as someone that is older and more capable in many ways. And that's it. So that's the normal way of perceiving things. So this is very bad for me because that means that, his woman has to be always younger. And I don't know how he could sleep with her and Monica Bellucci, that is a lot closer, if not on his age. So I just don't get it. How can he sleep with Monica Bellucci, then sleep with this girl that is a lot younger than her, like with her mother and then her daughter? And it's just kind of offensive in a way, because they always pick the youngest or the most prettiest that seem the youngest women to be partners to some heroes and men, and the men are always a lot older. I mean, older, more like 5 years older. And they never do that the opposite way. So that's not fair, and it's, kind of sexist, to be honest. It is. It's like in most movies, it's like a trend sometimes. And these days, these modern days, I just don't want this to be the trend anymore. I just like things to be kind of more realistic, at least. Because 18 years is too much. Okay, maybe 10 years, which is still too much. 5, 6, 7 years, okay? You got my point. I mean, when it comes to those kind of stuff, and I'm just annoyed because it's 2015 and this shouldn't be happening. If it has to happen, at least be more realistic. Take the time to develop this relationship. Why does she love him? Why did she get in love with him? And then at the end of the movie, something else happens with her that's also extremely stupid, what she does. And then once again, she's in the movie, which is like a cliche almost, also unlogical again. So those things just will get you out of the movie, even if you're a man sometimes. Because if you have some sense, you realize at least that this is unlogical. Even if you remove the age factor, it's still ridiculous because they didn't even knew each other. She kind of despises him. So yeah, it's ridiculous. Okay, sorry about this rant, guys. Overall, from the scale of 1 to 10, Specter is 7. And yeah, as a James Bond movie, also 7. Maybe 6.5, but okay, 7. I'm not going to be so harsh on it. Yeah. So yeah, thank you very much, guys, for watching. Please let me know what you think in the comments. I bet maybe some of you will get into an argument with me, but you have to understand this is such an annoying cliche. It has to stop at some point. So things could be equal and more realistic, at least. So thank you very much, guys. Until next time with GTG reviews. Best games for the best prices on g2a.com and cdkeys.com. If you like to subscribe, you can click the button to the right, and you can also check out my gaming channel, GettyG Gaming.